Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody this fine, actually sunny day? But I have been like a cat looking for the patch of sunlight. There is just no warm place in this house. Sunlight is not doing its job. It's not getting inside. And unfortunately, all I can do is put the layers on and close the doors, let the rooms heat up, which is what we tend to do, and stay under blankets when I'm sitting in my comfy chair. And that's okay. It's the time to rest, right? Season of rest. I am going to... I spent some time spinning this morning. I finished up the pink acrylic. Yay! I didn't finish it because I now have 2 bobbins of singles that I have to ply. And I'm not looking forward to that. I'm going to have the same quantity to ply with the Merino Angora that I'm going to be spinning today. Lots of plying in my future here. But that's all right. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Let's get to spinning. I got the pretzel music on. Boy, I'm getting tired of the pretzel music. I keep bouncing around different stations and everything. But when you stream every day like this, it really does all sound alike. All right, here we go. Got to get my bobbin ready here. So this will be my 5th bobbin full. I have maybe 7, 6. I think I have 6 bobbins. But I am not going to ply on the Roberta. I'm going to ply on the Ara. So it is okay. What did I say? This will be my 4th. Not my 5th. This will be my 4th. Because it's a bobbin each of the pink and a bobbin each of this blue. Pink and blue. This is not baby blue though. This is midnight blue. I know because that's what the what am I trying to say? The dye that I used called it. So I spent a little bit of time watching a Twitch stream this morning. She was cross-stitching. Somebody new to me. And I realized during that time how much of a chill stream mine is. Because I don't talk much, right? And I sit here and do this Zen thing called spinning. It's alright. Happy to have that niche. And I hope those that come to join me or turn it on after the fact, that's the reason they're doing it. Have a little bit of background music maybe. A little bit of conversation. Lots of time for private thoughts and maybe a little bit every now and then of my own personal thoughts. I tried that concept with the meditation, spinning streams back in September. Didn't mind it. It was short. I did 30 minutes every evening before I went to bed. But, bottom line is I don't have what I consider a purpose for streaming, right? I'm not teaching. I love it that I have made friends and talking to them, when they come to chat. I love that. but that doesn't happen every stream. Every stream I come on, the same viewers aren't always there. Part of that's because I jump around different time frames and don't have the same time frame. I know that. But I don't have a specific purpose. I'm just doing it because I'm sitting here spinning anyway. So why not? Back to lumpy bumpy yarn. Not lumpy bumpy in a bad way, but this Angora is not smooth. It's got neps in it, and I don't always get them out. Sometimes I do. Mostly I don't really want to stop, and then I run over it and I realize once you run over them, you're not going to get them out. They are twisted in there good. They have become a design element in the, just like that, a design element in the yarn. May have to turn the music up just a tad. I'd like to hear it, since I'm not going to be talking much today. Let's see how much I can go up here. Let's try that. Still really quiet. Oh, it's ending. Let's see how it goes here. Nope, still can't hear it. It seems like I have been spinning thin for a long time now. There was a period of time, especially during the Tour de Fleece, I was spinning that CVM, and it was like it never would spin thin. I also was doing a lot of fiber. It was supposed to be for a sweater spin, so I was doing a long draw or a semi-long draw, and that is woolen, and that always is a bigger, thicker yarn. So I have been. It seems like I've been spinning a lot of really thin yarn lately. I was so sad. I found out a couple days ago I missed the really big flea market. They didn't have it 2020. 2021. They didn't even have it 2021. I think they may have had it 2020, but they didn't have it 2021. And I just forgot about it, right? It kind of, I used to think about it all the time, and I'd be working or not working, or I was having trouble with my knees and, the whole thing. Right now is like, okay, you should be going, and I totally forgot about it. It was over the weekend, last weekend. So I have made myself a tickler file note in my year notebook thing to check it out next year. I love flea markets. Where everybody has their booth. And this one is very big. Nope, I'm gonna move my hook. Do you know that when you make a blend of 75% merino to 25% angora by weight, you get a lot of angora, because merino is heavy and angora is not. I have been, there's an awful lot of the singles that I've been spinning in this blend that is 100% angora. It's going to be a nice yarn. I am still drinking coffee. And I have to put it in a thermal mug because, not just because I'm here streaming all the time. I mean, a cup of coffee that you pour will be lukewarm to cold in 5 minutes. It just, I know. I think I'm getting too old for the cold. I'm getting tired of it. She protests too much. Well, this doesn't want to divide anywhere here. Huh. And divided poorly, I might add. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Oh, that's better. So I measured off, or skeined off the South African fine wool merino skein. Came out to 82 yards. I am counting anything under 100 yards as a mini skein. So that is my first official mini skein of 2022. I love it too. Oh, I like it. And after I get these plied, or if I get too bored plying, I will start on the first of the fiber exchanges. I have one of three that have 1 ounce, and I'm going to be spinning each of the colors in mini skeins. That's going to be fun. First thing I need to do here, besides giving my hands a break, is get a little oil in here. I have been using this non-stop. I've oiled it for a little bit. Just a dab will do ya. Alright. Oop. And I have oil on my fingers now. Oh yeah. Ironically, I can tell a difference. am going to do something great now because I'm thinking of it. I keep forgetting to check my email to see if a pattern's been released for Sock Madness January Startup Sock. Or practice sock, or whatever you want to call it. Alright. I don't think so. Unless they released it a different way. Nope. Okay. Well, at this point, anyway, they haven't released it that way. They haven't released it by the email. I have to go on Facebook and check out their posts. It's just like an extra clump. Don't know where it goes. You can go with anything. Let me just sit it on top of here. See how it goes here. It's called blending on the fly here. Let's see. Ah, I thought I had a problem here. No pull in at all. My spring on? Yes, my spring is on. I must have loosened the knob at some point. All right, I think this is the first. I have no viewers. It really is a first. I have absolutely, I never mind if somebody's there and they're working or whatever, but don't even have that today. Oh, that didn't go well. Let me take that out. I would assume I'm gonna be spinning on this today and tomorrow because I most comfortably spin about an ounce an hour of almost any fiber, really. And I have 5 ounces here to spin. I do a 2-hour stream. It'll work out about right, or I'll have to do a little bit after stream. And, you know, if I'm thinking about how to price a handspun yarn, which I rarely think about that because I really don't sell anything right now, but I have to realize that that is not the plying, not the washing, scanning of it. So, I mean, the washing, scanning is at the most add another hour, maybe not even that much, but the plying, I have never really timed myself. I need to maybe do that with these two because they're good and they're going to be on the Ara, which is my usual plying wheel. Maybe I need to sort of get a feel for how long it takes to ply a yarn. I'm going to guess, well, see, okay. I know how much I have on the blue. I don't know how much I have on the pink. I could weigh it. Probably ought to do that. I'm guessing 6 ounces on each bobbin, but I could be wrong. I could do that right now. Let's do that right now. Need something to write this down on, though. I had something started here. Where to go here? There. I think this is it. Nope. Nope. Here it is. It was on the pretty paper. Okay. So let's see here. According to this, I was weighing out how much to do on the one bobbin, so let's do bobbin 1. Every bobbin on these Roberta bobbins unfortunately weigh a little different, but I can get a ballpark anyway. Okay. I know this is off stream. I'm over here on the table. You can sort of see it in the little one. But I had said that a bobbin was 2.93. So I'm going to subtract that from each one. Come on. Well, be nice if I could see it. Okay, 555. 5.55 minus 2.93. 2.62 ounces. It has more, I can tell. This one, no, pretty good. 552. $2.59. Boy, that, woohoo! That's a good deal. How about that? All right. Let's do the merino. I'll flip it on the other side here. Merino Angora bobbin 1. $5.05. $2.12. Okay, so I will try and do a little bit of study on what it does, how long it takes me to apply that. All right, back to spinning. No, I was just real surprised on the pink that it's as close as it was, because the one bobbin doesn't look like it has. Visually, it doesn't look like it has the same as much as the other bobbin on it. And that's true. The other bobbin has a little more. I mean, it has more on it, but it's pretty, it's very, very little amount, ounce-wise. I have some of the pink left. I purposely didn't spin it all up so that I can work out. I'll end up with what I call a swatch skein. And, now are mini skeins, right? But in this case, when I have a large amount of the fiber and I have a little skein, I use it to make the swatch. I made a swatch out of the same fiber with the multi, I really don't need to swatch the pink. I spun it the same way. I spun it on the same spinning wheel. It's same fiber content. So I actually don't really feel like I need to swatch the pink. I need to move my bobbin. It's wobbling a little too. Here we go. Not move my bobbin, move the leader. trying to decide whether to split that or spin it the way it is. It seems quite content. In its form there, so I decided not to split it. We'll see how it spins. Hi, Kay. How are you? I am freezing. I cannot get warm today. But I have not been very active, like up and cleaning house like I should be, right? I've been doing a lot of spinning. Before stream, I finished up a bobbin of the pink, and so it is somewhat my own fault for not being active. You're certainly not crafting instead of making a dent in the laundry pile. I just love your attitude. Of course you're not doing that. I have a solution for that, but it's my own personal solution, and my own personal solution is my husband does the laundry. But it's his own fault. It's his own fault because he won't buy a new washer, and he's the appliance tech, and he babies this old one along, and he doesn't want me to touch it. So it's like, fine. You go right ahead and do the laundry until it don't run no more, and then we'll go buy a new one. Well, I am on day 10 of the 12 days. That doesn't sound right. Oh, I know why. It does end Thursday, but then I stream Fridays anyway, so I'm actually going to be doing 11 days. That's why it didn't sound right. But yeah, I'm on day 9. Day 10. I'm on day 10. I have gotten a lot of spinning done. It's been nice. but I'm not getting much else done. just just basic dishes and food. Keep us fed. That's a good solution, yes. You got up to get your yarn needle. I put my coffee in the microwave and sat down instead. Somebody was talking about, putting this. They were not good at following a schedule and everything. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know. I have a schedule. I have a plan for today, and I walk into another room, and then it's gone. Right? I'm often doing something else. I still make to-do lists, though. Because I forget that they're not essential items. They are things I really want to do, and I forget if I don't make a list. So it really isn't the overachiever in me, it is just the practical me. I don't have to remember it then. It's on the paper. And that's the other thing I had to do today that I haven't done for a long time. I had to put my coffee in a thermal cup, that keeps it hot, because, it's so cold here. It just gets cold in 5 minutes. So I've been drinking out of a thermal cup all morning. You make a to-do list, but trying to schedule myself ends up in totally ignoring my own deadline. Yeah, I think that's all right. You're gonna get more done if you're not making yourself do something, but you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this now. At least that's the way I am. I'm in the mood to clear some clutter, or I'm in the mood to sit and knit. Whatever. But then there's the days where I can't figure out what I'm in the mood for at all. Those kind of days usually get better if I get myself outside. But I'm not real good about that in the wintertime. I'm only good at that in the summer. Spring, depending on the weather. Fall, usually. Okay, says, I think part of my problem is that in retail, telling myself I'm going to work on X for an hour and then do something else is a kiss of death because saying my plans out loud is just a jinx, and that sort of just blended into my habits at home. Hmm. So, working in retail, is it because you get interrupted by customers? I mean, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go straighten that shelf or whatever, or stock this inventory or whatever, and then you have to stop when customers come in, right? Is it because your workflow gets interrupted? My workflow gets interrupted at home a lot of times. Um, Sometimes me getting sidetracked, but sometimes hubby needing something. You know, it By the way, I meant to tell you I really like how your bat is spinning up. Um, you know, the kitchen sink bats, they can go either way, right? They can just work, or they can just really not work. I really like the way yours is looking. And hope you're not offended by me calling it a kitchen sink bat. That's just a term I use for, you don't know what's in it, right? Everything's in it. So customers sometimes, or hey, the truck just showed up. Oh, yes. Or this thing dropped and broke and needs to be cleaned up. None of it's going to ruin my day, but it'll screw up my vague attempt at scheduling. Yes, I gotcha. But we have that at home, don't we? I mean, everybody has that at home. The phone rings, the postman brings a package. I mean, right? It just kids, if they're around, grandkids, whatever. Speaking of the phone ringing, it's just now ringing. The telemarketers are back to work. You really like the bat. I was holding off for a little bit to finish up some other things, but I cleared that spindle and it felt like time. Yeah. really don't have. Very rarely do I buy bats. Now, partly because I have a drum carver, but the other part is, I've been burned a couple times where I just didn't like what happened with it, so ended up just not buying them. They're outside my comfort zone. I guess I should say it right out, huh? Wow. These were just two big bowls. Oh, that's got a little piece. Oh, that didn't work. Or it didn't work the way I expected. Let's put it that way. This is the first one I've worked with that I wasn't sure I was going to start it, so now I'm just pulling strips off like roving worked with. It's the first one you've worked with, and I wasn't sure how you were going to actually spin it, right? Yeah, I know. That is very true. The other way is wider than this, bigger than this, and then roll it. Very lightly roll it and spin off the end. But when you do that, what'll happen is you'll get all the long fibers first, and it's not a good way to do it if you have short and long. If you have fibers that kind of are the same length all through it, it works pretty good. And spinning on a drop spindle is different too than how you choose to feed the draft zone is different with a drop spindle than it is with a spinning wheel. Don't work with quite as big a section of fiber for a drop spindle. At least I don't. You had a long time where you worked with the entire roving attached because I wasn't comfortable with adding more, but you've gotten better about that, yeah. I gotcha. uh, I have tried, where you take a strip of roving and you wrap it around your wrist and feet. I don't like it. I always end up just taking a good handful when I spin with a drop spindle. I rarely. And yeah, it's a lot of joints, but I like that better than working with fiber around my wrist that might get caught into the drafting zone and unwrapping it and the whole thing. I've never figured out a good way to do drop spindle on the stream. I mean, it would show my hands right here, but it just, between the camera and having to need almost to stand up, really hasn't worked well. It's awkward to film, yeah. I tell you, the person, you may not have heard of her, Abby Frankenmont. Took a class with her once, and she stood. We sat in a semicircle in chairs, and she stood in front of us, and the whole time she's talking, she's drop spindling, and the drop spindle is doing this. Right? She doesn't have it right directly in front of her. She has a swing to it. She has a motion with her body that keeps it going. And it was mesmerizing. I was like, I'm lucky to get it to spin, let alone, do that. But her point was, you're not really drop spindling unless you have the ability to do absolutely everything and still be drop spindling, right? Walking, talking. Obviously, you still need both hands, and so eating is out. But the point is, it's not second nature unless you can just do it like that. And she's right. I mean, drop spindling is not second nature to me at all. But her whole thing was, about the history of drop spindling, the fact that that's how everybody spun before there were spinning wheels, which is in the spinning of fiber, yarn, and making of textiles. The spinning wheel is young, and mechanized spinning by machinery is even younger. Well, I need to take a break here. You've done that in the car on accident, but I'm definitely not there yet. Yeah. See, I don't even, well, I can't anymore. I have to drive all the time, but I never did a drop spindle in the car, before when hubby was driving. I was lucky to knit. I spun for about an hour before stream, and I'm starting to really feel it in the thumbs, so. Did she do a book? Because that sounds like a book on drop spindling. Yes, that's her book. Yes, she now lives in South America somewhere, but she came to the Woolery, which is reasonably local to me. I mean, it's a couple hours away, but I went and had a class there with her, and it was just the fun of meeting her and talking to her, So, Respect the Spindle. That's the name of her book. Respect the Spindle. Yeah. So I may not stay on the entire 2 hours. I am going to do this last bit here and finish this up tomorrow. I'll tell you, hubby has been doing 2 bookcases. One's a brand new one, built from scratch, and the other one was the boards that went across. The whole thing is good wood, but the boards that were going across were sitting on little metal prongy things, and I have a lot of books, and it just bent those prongs. So he's adapting the sides, or putting in little wood pieces so that the shelves have really good support. So both of these bookcases currently have no books in them, and the books are packed in boxes or on the floor, while one of them is for my spinning books. And here's where I'm going with all this. As soon as he gets that done, which is taking a painstakingly long time to do, but it's going to be like getting my spinning books out new. They're all going to be new to me again. I haven't looked at them for so long, so it'll be a good chance to go through them and decide. I have never gotten rid of any spinning books. I get rid of other books, but keep the spinning ones. Probably won't get rid of any this time either. The book I really like is called The Intentional Spinner. Have you seen that, Kay? It's about making, how to make your specific yarns. And it's based on making yarns by the ply, what kind of plying you do, how you spin it, that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. And I've always thought, I just need to go through that and make these kind of yarns, and I don't do that. All I do is make these 2-ply yarns, because ultimately I want to be able to knit or crochet with the yarns. But the construction part of it's very interesting. if you read it as a spinner, right, you know what they're talking about and everything. I always have to go to that book to make a cabled, which is 4-ply. I love the look. I do like cabled yarns. I love the look of it, and I like knitting with it. You spin 2. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to say it, or I'll say it wrong. But it has various things where you spin it S and spin it Z, and you're always doing the opposite when you're putting them together. And you get with a almost square yarn. It's pretty cool. I take one of my braids that I've got and do a 4-ply. I think they call it a cabled yarn. And you can actually do it with more than 4, which I've never done. Some people do it to make a, instead of doing the Navajo chain ply, they do it for socks. But I never spin that thin. You think your vague goal for this year might be experimenting more with your spinning? Yeah. I'm going to look that up real quick here on Google so I can follow up that thought. Okay. It's not chain plying. Cabled. Cabled. Yarn. Spinning. Let's see if that'll give it to me. Spin Control has it. Okay. Well, there's a lot of YouTubes. Oh, fractal cabled yarn. That would be cool. That would be real cool. We have dummies.com with spinning on dummies.com. Let's see what this says. S versus Z. So spinning to the left is known as S, spinning to the right is known as Z. Yeah, okay. So you spin 2 yarns of the same thickness. So let's say you spin 2 singles like I always do, Z, and you ply them S. That's a 2-ply. And then you repeat 1 and 2 so that you have 2 plies. And then it says in order to cable the yarn so it has desired look, you need to have twice as much twist in your plied yarn as you normally want. In other words, you want to be over plied. The easiest way to do this so that you have even results is to run your 2-ply yarn back through once more, continuing to ply in the same direction as before. And then after your 2-ply yarns have been overplied, you set your break band tension so it feeds into the orifice as quickly as possible. And then you take your 2 plies and ply them, spinning to the right or in the original direction you spun your singles. Spinning the original direction you spun your singles. That's the key. So if you spin Z like I'm doing for the single and you ply it S, when you do that, so you have two 2-ply yarns. So when you do that, then you have to ply that Z. And I have never really tried respinning it through, putting extra extra twist, right? Or extra twist. So that would be something that would be something to remember, would be good to try. Using the sewing machine, woohoo! That's a good goal. I have not made me a piece of clothing for years. Done some hemming and mending, but I actually have an embroidery machine, which is something I really wanted, and was very enthusiastic about it for a year and a half, and then never really got back to it. It's fiddly. It's a lot of setup, and then it's a lot of thread. And the thread is, come on, it's not going to break the bank, but it is still a lot of thread. And you want to look at getting the next size of the Nano to ply on. And you say that, but I catch myself spinning more singles on that. Yeah. What do you ply when you spin on a drop spindle? How do you ply that? Do you use another drop spindle? Do you make plying balls, or do you use a spinning wheel? I always use a spinning wheel. If I have spun on a drop spindle, I make a plying ball and spin on the ply on the regular spinning wheel. Yeah, see, I understand that completely, because mine is in my upstairs room, which of course has been off limits for years, so I can now do that, but there is so much else I gotta do first up there. It's just been ignored for years, and gotta deal with it. But that's alright. I'm retired. I got time. Okay. That was a lot of spinning. I'm happy to have that done. I'm not done, but it's not going to take long tomorrow to finish that up. You've got a bigger drop spindle and a bigger Turkish, and you ply on them most of the time. I wish I had a Turkish that actually spun well. I only have one, and it's terrible. I bought it because it was from a woodworker from my hometown, right? And I don't try to use it. It doesn't spin. Doesn't spin well at all, sadly. All right, the music's going to go away. I'm going to check Twitch real quick. I have not been raiding. I need to get in the habit of checking at least. Yeah, KB's on. I'm going to raid KB. Snyder Spindle's on. Speaking of spindles. How about that? I think I'm going to do KB though. Most of yours are Snyder. I don't have any Snyders. I was going to buy one. They said they were going to be at SAF, and I couldn't find them. I don't know if they were not there or if they were with another booth, and I just didn't realize it, right? I looked on the listing. I didn't see their name, so I was a little confused about that because I got the impression they were going to have their own table. And I would be able to find them because they just would have a sign up. I never found them. Alright, let's see if I remember how to raid. Let's see if this works, or is it the other command? It's the other command. It's always the other command. Okay, been good talking to you. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good afternoon. We're going to go see KB. Okay. Take care. See you tomorrow. I think I'll be on tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll be on at 11 a.m. All right? Bye.